Hi. Why does this feel like the beginning of like your elementary school kindergarten where you're walking in front of the class and you're so nervous to make new friends? Like, that's what this feels like coming back. Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's been 9 months. That was kind of an accident, but we're gonna talk about it. So the last time that you saw me any sort of consistently, we had just moved across the country. We were kind of settling in here. I don't think I was really posting that consistently, but like I was still trying. I was still kind of like on the brink of everything of like, what am I doing with my life? I feel like we're at a new era and I'm like ready to just like start all over. So I'm gonna basically reintroduce myself and tell you a little bit about what you've missed, everything that's happened. Maybe some of it you already know, maybe some of it you don't, but I'm just gonna kind of talk about everything in one cohesive little video, and then also kind of like excite you for where we're going, because I'm excited and I hope you're excited. But we're gonna start at the very beginning, and we're gonna start with me leaving TikTok, because that's where most of you found me, and I get so many questions about why I'm gone, why I left, if I'm ever coming back. And I'm gonna talk about it. So my TikTok journey, like I will forever be grateful for it and so glad that it happened. So much growth mentally happened because of it, but also so much pain happened because of it. I don't know if I've gone through such a hard time in my life as the entirety of my time on TikTok. And that kind of is like a clusterfuck of different things, because there's being on TikTok, and then there was also postpartum depression after my first kid, and it all just went hand in hand and created a shitstorm of misery and mental health issues. And something about the way that it all happened just kind of left it tainted for me. When I was on TikTok, you guys, like it was really fun until it was really not. There was something that switched and I was just fun to pick on, and nobody deserves that. People will say like,
oh, you posted on the internet, you signed up for it.
Nobody signs up to get bullied. Nobody signs up to get bullied. We sign up to find community and unity and, you know, give a voice to people who maybe don't have one, or talk about the hard things that we wish were talked about, that we needed to see. Nobody signs up to get bullied. That's just an excuse that bullies use to help them sleep at night. And that's fine. It is what it is. I understand that like it comes with the territory, but it's also like there's a certain point where you have to say enough is enough, and you have to walk away from what's no longer serving you. And so that's basically kind of where I came to, where I was getting hurt over and over and over and over again. Every time I would open the app, before it even fully loaded, I would have a pit of anxiety in my stomach, and it was just becoming so unhealthy. In the time that I was on TikTok, people called CPS. People had the wrong names, the wrong everything. The only thing that they had gotten right was my address back then. And they tried to make all of these claims, and the CPS workers came in and they were like, guys, this is a waste of my time. I'm so sorry they did this to you. And I was like, yeah, it sucks. But also, aside from just that, a friend that I had for years completely betrayed me, all for an attention grab, all for a little moment of her little limelight. And that really fucked me up for a long time. Like that left me so traumatized with so many trust issues, because the lies she told and the things that she said are inexcusable and unforgivable. And it's just like, it was just so much all at once, all while I was already struggling so much on my own, to have like it feel like the entire world is turning against me whenever I already barely wanted to be there in the first place. It was just so hard to like wake up every day and have any ounce of like self-worth or happiness, and I knew that something had to change. And that's when God came knocking on my door, and I don't think I knew it really at the time. I think it took more growth in my faith to like really recognize and understand what it was. But when I tell you that I would get a pit of anxiety in my stomach every time I would open the app, God was calling me to stop. God was convicting me. He was like, this is not good for you. This is not healthy. This is not serving you. Like, you need to stop. This is fun, this is great, but this is feeding your ego. This is idolization in the wrong things. This is placing your worth in the opinions of others. It was so many different toxic things, you guys, and it was also wasting my life away, not paying attention to my kids because I'm busy scrolling or trying to make content or whatever. Like missing out on so many other things that I'm passionate about and things that I love, like gardening and like photography and all of these things that I never would have tried if I never got off. It was just time, and I felt so convicted that I needed to leave. And once I like put the dots together that like this was a conviction, I can't go back. Like I literally can't. There was a sermon that I listened to with my husband one day that he gave the like visual representation of like when you disobey a conviction or like or however you want to interpret, when you disobey a conviction, you're basically taking the crown off of God's head and putting it on your own and saying, I'm king. I make the rules, I call the shots, I'm the king. And whenever I saw that, like it gave me chills because I was like, whoa, like that's what I was doing every time that I opened TikTok. I was saying like, I know this is bad for me, but I make the rules for my life. Like I know that this isn't serving me, but I want this. And that's like, for what? Because I wasn't making money off of it. I wasn't finding my peaceful community in it. I was literally just getting hurt every single time trying to chase this attention from people I didn't need. Like, you know what I mean? And so like it just became very toxic, very ego fueled, very like, I just needed to check myself and I needed to work on myself, and I was never going to be able to work on myself in the way that I needed to if I was still stuck in the vicious cycle of that app. And then aside from like an influencer perspective of it, it was also so bad for consumption. Like when you're scrolling on TikTok, and I think that maybe I know these things because I created on the app, but the algorithm does not pick up positivity. The videos that do well are not positive. The videos that you see on your feed that go viral are negative or complaining about something or rage baiting or arguing about something. Like it's argumentative, it's toxic, it's negative, and it just feeds the cycle of negativity inside your mind and inside your heart, and it's just not healthy. And so there's a lot of reasons why I just don't believe in TikTok anymore and why I won't go back onto it, but the biggest reason of all of it is God, and that God told me to get away and to help myself and save myself, and I can't go back on that because I can't take the crown off his head. I can't say that I make the rules and that I'm king because I'm not. That's just the simple core of it. And so why I left TikTok, it ended up all kind of trickling into this bigger thing because I was only really intending on leaving TikTok, but I ended up slowing down big time on posting on Instagram and YouTube, and then it all just kind of stopped. And I just needed a break. It had been years. I realized I've been doing this for 5 years. And so I never stopped. It was nonstop, go, 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 go. And I never stopped. So I just stopped. And I took some time to focus on myself, to focus on my kids, to really get healthy, to fix my health, to fix my mind, to fix my faith, to fix my family, to fix everything. Everything needed to be fixed. And now it's like when I look back at that girl and I look back at like old like videos or Instagram stories, I'm like, oh, like like that's a different person. Like that girl was so reactive. That girl was bitter. That girl was hurting. That girl was angry. And it's so different. And I became so filtered and like locked down because I was so afraid of what anybody was going to say about me and so wrapped up in all the wrong things. So I just needed to leave for my own well-being. And then now I just can't go back to TikTok because it's just not for me. YouTube and Instagram are not really exactly the same vibe for me. The algorithm, in my opinion, is completely different, but also just like they've never been the same like addiction to me. Like TikTok became so addicting, and I have never been so obsessed with refreshing my notifications on YouTube or Instagram the way that I was on TikTok. Like I don't know what it is about it, but TikTok is like a drug, and Instagram and YouTube have not been that for me. And I also really like YouTube because YouTube is long format and it gives me the opportunity to yap, and God made me a yapper for a reason. And I sometimes would struggle with like making vlogs and stuff like that and like getting it cut down to 1.5 minutes or whatever. Like it just felt like, no, like there's stuff being left out. And so like I've always, for my whole freaking childhood, wanted to be a YouTuber. So I don't know why I stopped YouTube, but I think I just needed a break from social media altogether. And in that break is where my photography business really exploded, and also my faith. And it all kind of happened at the same time, like together. I started my photography business September of 2023. I was literally sitting on the couch at my mom's house, and I was like, it was like an epiphany, but that's what I thought at the time. But now I really believe and know that like it was God saying like, this is your next chapter. Like this is your next step. This is what you do now. And so I remember sitting on the couch with my mom's and being like, what if I started a photography business? Like I've been doing photography since I was 16 years old. It's kind of trickled into my like influencer life here and there throughout the years, but I didn't really like focus on it and focus on getting good at it and caring about it. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, I love cameras, I have them, like, let me take like a kind of nice picture for my Instagram, da 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 da. But it was never like actually exploring the passion of it. And so in September of 2023, that's when I decided, like, let me actually try. Like, let me just try. Let me see what happens, because the worst that could happen is I don't like it, and then I can just stop, like, you know? And so I just started, and I threw myself out there, and I can't even believe what it's turned into. Like, when I first started, I strictly said, like, no, like, I'm not doing weddings, I'm not doing elopements, like, that's too much pressure, like, that's such an important day, I don't want to screw it up. And then somewhere along the line, God placed it on my heart, and he was like, no, you're ready. Like, you're scared because you care, because you want to do it. And so it was just the whole journey. Like, I could make an entire video probably on like my photography journey, but a whole big part of like my time offline was me building my photography business into what it is now, which I would consider it very, very successful for being on like year 2 or 3 of business. Like, the fact that I'm doing weddings alone blows my mind. Like, the goals that I set for myself have been well surpassed. So to me, I call it a raging success, because I'm reaching my goals and being able to set new ones. I'm really bad about constantly raising the bar and not really appreciating the bars that I've met. So I'm trying to be better about that. But all that to say that in my time offline, I built something that I genuinely care about. And that's been huge too, because it's also like I work again. So I'm out of the house sometimes, and I'm interacting with adults and socializing, and it's not just all toddlers, all motherhood all the time. Like, it's really helped me in finding like my own identity and getting my pink back and being active. And I think that it also probably played a part into some of my weight loss. And it was exactly what I needed at exactly the right time. And it was so placed by God. And throughout my entire photography business, I've really surrendered the whole thing to God and constantly pray on it. And I'm constantly like, God, take me where you want me to go, you know, like, lead me to the clients that I'm supposed to work with, you know, help guide me in my interactions and my responses and my work, and help my work represent you and praise you and serve my community in a way that I've never been able to do before. Let me use my gifts to serve others. And it's just been so magical. And like, there's not another word for it. It's just been magical. I love what I do so much. And I don't see myself ever stopping. Like, I love what I do, but I could literally ramble about photography for like a year and a half. So I'm going to try to like reel it in on that and stay on point here. So with the photography business blossoming and everything else, that kind of leads us, I guess we could talk about the weight loss for like a brief second, because I don't know how much of that was like on YouTube, if that makes any sense. But for a quick question that I get all of the time, people ask me if like I have any tips for weight loss. Like, my biggest tips is to pay attention to your hormones and getting those in balance, your cortisol, and then high protein and being active. Like, those are the biggest things, because for me, I feel like I was doing all of the right things, but they weren't really like clicking for a while. Like, I was working out, but like maybe I wasn't trying hard enough on like my eating and like what I'm eating. So like, I really just tried to focus on high proteins and whole foods and not eating so much processed stuff. And I feel like that was where everything kind of shifted. Like, when I really focused on what I was eating, that's where it all changed. But I did not track my calories. If I track my calories, I develop a really unhealthy relationship with food. So I really just focused on how my body was feeling. I would try to really pay attention to like, when I eat something, how is it making me feel? Should I eat it again? How long is it sustaining me for? And like, things like that. Like, I tried to just get so in tune with my body. Like, I'm probably sound like such a hippie, but like, that's the honest truth of it. And so, yeah. And so then I also got really strict with myself on exercise. Once I kind of hit a point where I was like, I need to see results, or I'm not going to stick to this. Like, I just know myself now. Like, I've been at it for months and I just keep starting and stopping. So I hit a point where I just went like balls to the walls and I was doing, I want to say 30+ minutes of cardio a day, just depending on the day. And then I would follow that up with weight training. And that seemed to be like chef's kiss, like the bread and butter. Like, that seemed to really be like the recipe that worked really well for me. So when you match the focus on your eating with the cardio and the strength training, like that, it literally started falling off of me. It only took me like, I want to say a couple of months, once I was like really consistently doing that the weight just fell off. I lost like over 40 pounds. I went from like 160 something to 115. And then, if you don't already know from Instagram, then I got pregnant with baby number 3. That's right, we're doing it again, people. I know that there are so many questions out there because I dropped my pregnancy like a bomb on Instagram. Like, I hid it for my first trimester, which I've never done before. If you've been here for a while, you know that with my first, I announced it literally like the second that I got a positive test. And with my second, I wanted to announce it like a little bit later. I didn't really want to wait until the second trimester, but I had taken announcement pictures and I really wanted to like use those pictures to announce it. And somebody leaked my pregnancy. This was also in the TikTok era of just everybody being like, let's screw with Alexia because it's so fun. So that was awful, miserable, horrible. Hated that. Really upset me. I hated that, like, it's not your news to share. Why are we even talking about this? Like, that went into all my trust issues. Like, it was a whole can of worms. Okay, we were all there for it. We don't need to rehash it all. But this time I was so careful, so adamant about who I told and who and whatever. Like, I was so careful, and it was so peaceful and so fun to keep it secret for the whole first trimester, announce it how I wanted to announce it, when I was ready to announce it. My friends kept asking me, they're like, when are you gonna announce? When are you gonna announce? I was like, I don't know, whenever I'm ready. I'm not ready yet. And so I just, like, I didn't really have a plan. I didn't even know if I was gonna announce it at all or if I was just gonna pop out a baby and be like, surprise. But I got to a point where, like, my bump was getting kind of hard to hide, and also, like, I'm an oversharer. Like, I am a chronic oversharer, and I want to talk about it and yap about it and make it my whole personality no matter who it pisses off. So I definitely hit the point where I was like, no, I'm ready to share. Like, I'm ready to share, I'm excited to share. And oh my gosh, the love and support that I received when I announced on Instagram blew my mind. I'm so grateful because I was so scared because of past experiences. I was just so scared of what people were gonna say. I swear to y'all, my brain chemistry is forever altered from my time on TikTok and from all of the hate that I went through before for literally no reason and the nitpicking. And so I was just so scared that, like, people were gonna have something to say, they were gonna try to ruin it, like, whatever. But I can't even explain to you guys how much God has his arms wrapped around me, how much this whole experience has been so, like, transformative and just so spirit-filled. And it's just been so beautiful and so healing. Like, if you guys have been around for a while, then you know, like, with my first pregnancy, I definitely struggled with morning sickness, but it wasn't quite HG. But with my second pregnancy, it was HG, and I was losing weight rapidly, and I almost had to get hospitalized, and it was, like, really scary, really not fun. Not the vibe, hated it so much, but this time I haven't had any morning sickness. This experience has actually been so mind-blowing because I genuinely thought people were lying whenever they said that they weren't sick in their pregnancies. I was like, there's just no way. Like, I could not fathom it. But the entire, like, experience from, like, finding out I was pregnant and, like, conceiving and all of that to, like, then now being, like, into my second trimester, like, it's just been crazy. And I have so much to fill you guys in on with my pregnancy, and there's gonna be so many more videos to come about my pregnancy, starting with a Q&A, because everybody's been asking me a million questions on Instagram, and I want to make, like, a cohesive, good Q&A, so I'm gonna put a question box on my Instagram. Feel free to leave comments on this video with your questions that I can address in the next video, because I'm pretty sure that that's what I'm gonna do next. Either that or a vlog, because we have a sonogram coming up. One of the two. It'll either be a vlog of us going to get an ultrasound done, or it'll be the Q&A. But nonetheless, pregnancy content is about to be at the forefront of your feed, baby. I am back. It took me so long to feel truly ready to be back. It took so much prayer and so much just, like, self-healing and being like, what do I want out of life? Do I even want to do content creation? Like, what do I want? Like, that's literally, if I had to put it to one sentence of what the past 2 years have been for me, it's been, what do I want? And that's what I figured out. And I think that I decided that I want it all. And there's nothing wrong with wanting it all. There's nothing wrong with being a great mom, being a great photographer, and being a great content creator. Like, there's no reason that I have to stop at one. And I think that that's what it took the longest for me to, like, accept about my desires and my goals and aspirations, is that, like, I'm a dreamer. Like, that's the thing, is, like, I'm a dreamer. Like, I have a million dreams and aspirations. I want to be a real estate agent someday too. Like, I want to do it all. And I convinced myself that I couldn't or shouldn't, and let myself feel guilty anytime that I cared about something that wasn't just my kids. And there's no reason for that, because you can do more than just be a mom. And if you want to just be a mom, that's amazing too. If you want to throw yourself all in on one thing, do it. And do it well, and do it with love, and do it with passion. And if you want to do 3 different things, do it well, do it with love, do it with passion. I don't know why it took me so long to get there, but I guess I just needed God to get there. Prior to, like, the whole pregnancy and everything, like, I had already started getting back into the social media, but the pregnancy definitely helped, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I feel like pregnancy content is where I thrive. Would I ever have a baby for content? Absolutely not. But I definitely do enjoy making content when I'm pregnant. It's just easier. I don't know what it is. It's just easier, especially because I don't really show my kids. So it's like, I'm not gonna just like shove a camera in my kids' faces. And I feel like it's really hard whenever you're like just a mom. Like it's hard to make content that's like relatable about being a mom because people think you're just complaining about your kids and hate your kids. And it's like, no, but also having toddlers is kind of freaking hard. So like sometimes there's just like stuff to complain about and it just is what it is. Doesn't mean I don't love them. I love making pregnancy content. So the pregnancy content is back, baby. The vlogs are back. All of it is back. I have so much on my little list of like what is to come. I'm gonna make videos about things that we're doing differently this time. I'm gonna make videos answering all your questions. I'm gonna make videos of vlogs. I'm gonna make videos of hospital prep, of house prep. There's just so much going on and I cannot wait to let you guys in on all of it. Hence why I've been excited to finally get back into YouTube. My camera was broken for the better part of a year and it magically, mysteriously fixed one day. Also God, if you ask me. We're back in business, baby. We are back and we're not going anywhere this time because I have God on my side now and with the armor of God, nobody can touch me. I'm stronger now, I'm healthier now, I'm older now, and I'm just excited. I'm just excited for everything that's to come. I don't know what it is, but I just have a good feeling about everything. I have a clear head about everything and I'm just like excited for a new era. And this is a very long chatty video and if that's not your vibe, I'm sorry about that. For the most part, I feel like I'm more of like a vlogger, moving around, like moving parts, whatever. I'm just gonna start taking you guys along my life again and the mundane days and the busy, exciting days, like just all of it. Like, I just want you here with me because you guys are like my best freaking friends, okay? And I just want to get back into the life that I love to live, which is creating and sharing and being artistic and being me, being myself again and being happy and joyful and bubbly and goofy and silly and weird and just being me. So if you love me and you like to hang out with me, then welcome back. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sticking around after all of this time and 5 years with me. That's crazy. Thank you for everybody who has already subscribed to my YouTube. Thank you for everybody that subscribes from this video and is excited for this new journey and this new era. I'm so excited to go on this journey with you guys and forever and more. I'm excited to see where life takes me and takes me with you guys. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. So I'm gonna leave you on that. I love you. Bye.